So it's the 2nd of January and it's finally time to start building my niche website giveaway. And today's the day we finally get going. So let's get into this. Hi and welcome back to my channel again. I hope you've had a lovely Christmas and I hope your New Year's Eve celebrations went well. I think I'm still recovering. It's January the 2nd, but I need to start building my niche website giveaway, the website that I'm going to build over the course of the next 12 months, grow it until it's earning as much money as I possibly can get it to within that period, and then give it away to one of you guys. So this is video one, the first one in the series. There will be a playlist on my channel where I'll put all the videos related to this giveaway into that playlist so you can easily find them. And then you also need to go over to my website, carlbroadbent.com, where you can actually be entered into the competition. You need to just simply give me your email address so I can keep you informed with regular emails about the progress, the income reports, etc. And it's the only way I figured I could pick a winner. So I will be using a random generator tool that will pick a winner from all the emails that I receive. So it's time we get into this and start building this website. So today we're going to go niche hunting, and I've picked 5 niches that I've either wanted to do or I've had an interest in for maybe the past year or so. They've been in the back of my mind that maybe if I start a website, it might be one of these niches that I use. So now's the perfect time to have a look at these 5 niches. And I thought if we dive into each one, have a look at some of the pros and cons, and then what we can do at the end of the video, on my community tab, I will put a poll on there and we'll put the 5 niches up for the poll, and we'll let you guys choose and vote on which one you think we should go for. And at the end of the day, the niche that has the highest poll or the most likes is the one we'll go with, and that's the website we'll be building. So let's get over to the computer now. I'm excited. Let's get this started. Okay, so let's start finding some suitable niches. And these are 5 niches that I've been considering doing for my personal websites, building my own portfolio. These are ones I would certainly have considered, but I've not looked into them fully. So this is a great opportunity to do so. So the first one, wedding planning. The second one, garden, wildlife and ponds. Third one is a bit of a wild card, hacks. So I'll explain more in a little bit. And then number 4, gardening for kids, specifically around kids. And then number 5, travel. Now, gap year travel or single person travel. Now, again, I'll go into that in more detail. You're probably thinking travel, it's not a great website to be getting into at the minute, but it could be in the future. So let's have a look first of all at wedding planning. Let's go through these one by one. So why did I choose wedding planning? Well, it got me thinking about my wedding and how much it cost me, and kind of how long my wife started planning, organising and buying things from Amazon. I remember parcel after parcel coming through the door every single day. And then it got me thinking it's an all year round kind of niche, so that people do get married in winter, people have winter weddings, people like to even get married at Christmas, so it is suitable for all year round. Yeah, granted in the summer it will be more popular, but certainly people do start researching summer weddings through the winter time. So it is a good niche for all round traffic. Also, like I said, people spend a fortune on weddings. So I was looking into this. Apart from buying your home and your car, a wedding is the 3rd most expensive thing or item you will buy. So people do spend an absolute small fortune on their weddings. Another reason is the content. You can produce some evergreen content, and particularly some digital products. Things like wedding checklists, present lists, wedding planning lists. All these kind of spreadsheets and sheets and cheat sheets and planning lists that you can actually create and give away, and that will get traffic to your website. So there's some really tempting ways of actually getting traffic to the website. Another reason is it's a fantastic niche for Pinterest. So weddings is, I think it's the 2nd most popular topic searched on Pinterest. Food is the first one, and then weddings is the second one. So it's a great chance to actually get some organic traffic from Pinterest, so we're not relying 100% on Google. And lastly, the products. There is an absolute ton of products available on Amazon. Things like table dressings, chair back covers, bridesmaid gifts, bridesmaid dresses, all sorts. And then there's also affiliate products like the wedding rings. So we can find a jeweler's where it has an affiliate program. In fact, let's start searching and start looking at this wedding niche. I've actually found one already. So I found this website here, Rockford Collection of New York. And as you can see, they do some very expensive wedding rings. And they have, if we go to the bottom, they have an affiliate program here. Look, become an affiliate. Now it even says here, so it's 10% commission, and the average order is $2,000. So your average sale is going to net you a couple of $100. So, and that's not the only affiliate website I found for jewelry and wedding rings. I found 4 or 5. One said 20%, but I couldn't actually find how to subscribe and become an affiliate with them. But it did say that they had a 20% plan. So there's lots of potential and scope for affiliate earnings. But let's have a look at traffic then. So let's have a look. So let's just type in wedding planning. And let's start seeing what we can find. And the first thing that comes up is exactly what I just said. The ultimate wedding checklist. Checklists and guest sheets and planning, wedding planning sheets. I think would be a great opportunity. If you look up here in the top corner, 60,500 people are searching for wedding planning. Let's try wedding checklist. Let's see if that gets any searches. So wedding checklist, 27,000 searches for wedding checklist. And as you can see here, there's a lot of images. Now, a lot of these will be on Pinterest, and that's where a lot of traffic for these kind of sites will come from. We've obviously got some big sites, bride.com, rockmywedding.co.uk, Bride Magazine. So, for the actual main term of wedding checklist, to rank it within Google would be very difficult, but through Pinterest, we can get one of these top spots here just from having a really good description and a pin that's shared through Pinterest. So lots of opportunity there. And if we look here under the Uber Suggest, that's a free tool I'm using. It's a Chrome extension tool. So wedding checklist, 30,000 views. Planning for a wedding checklist, 18,000 views. Planning a wedding checklist, 18,000. Printable wedding checklist, that's the kind a thing that I think would do really, really well. Let's have a look. Sure enough, you've got the Spruce, #1, big website there. So she knows. Let's just click one of these. Let's just actually have a look. 10 printable wedding checklists for organised brides. See, these are what I call list posts. They're so easy to do. That's just an infographic, which you can get free on Canva and you can make yourself. And then they've got a video, which they'll have embedded off YouTube. Then they've got the Pinterest pin. And then they've got a budget, wedding budgets. That's another one. That's a really good sheet you could create. Wedding registry, checklist. So this is a very simple post to put together. And if we just have a look at some of the links that this post has got, I bet it's got an absolute ton of links. Yeah, it's showing us 125 links just to this one article. So, it'd be very difficult to rank organically for that one, but like I say, you could jump the rankings due to, social traffic from Pinterest and Facebook. Let's have a look at some easy to rank for content then. Let's have a look for some keywords. So really just going to start randomly. So how much does it cost to plan a wedding? So let's just have a look. So how much does the average wedding cost in 2020? What's the cheapest way to do a wedding? Let's have a look at that one. So just click that. So yeah, there's a lot of heavy hitters in here. The Guardian, Rock My Bride. That's going to be too competitive. So a little tool you can also use. So let's go to alsoasked.com. Now if you've not seen, this is a little tool that I've started using that gives us some ideas within niches. We simply just have to put a keyword in. So I'm going to put in wedding planning. I'm going to set it to the US. So this will show us results. So anybody who's searched wedding planning, it also shows us suggested searches that they've done. So they've searched for wedding planning and it's led them on to search other things. And this shows them as what they've actually searched. So you can see on the left hand side here, wedding planning. What are the steps to plan a wedding? when should you start planning a wedding? So that's a good one. So if we actually just try that, when should you start planning a wedding? So let's just have a look for that one. So that gets 40 searches a month, so it's less competitive. And there we go straight away. So we've got DA13 with only 5 links to it, ranking quite high up. So that's pretty good. Then we've got DA19 down here, again, that's getting a lot of traffic to that post, so that's a good sign. So still pretty competitive, but we've got, you know, DA14 and DA19 both ranking well. So let's just have a look at the DA14 one. So this has got 5 links to it. It's got a page authority of 25. So okay, so its page authority is quite high compared to the website. So this is a popular post on this website. And as we can see, it's pretty generic, nothing amazing. There's no infographics to share. There's not many images. There's not many inward or outbound links on here. And it's not really formatted well, is it? Look, 2 weeks before the wedding, it took me ages to find there, or 1 week before the wedding. So this isn't a very good post. So if this post is gaining link, I think we could do better. So that's a really good potential on that one. Let's go back here. Why is planning a wedding so hard? What is a good budget for a wedding? Is 2 years too early to plan a wedding? What should I eat 1 month before my wedding? Okay, let's have a look at that. I'm not sure about that one. What should I eat 1 month before my wedding? Let's have a look at that. So it's saying it gets 0 searches, but obviously people are searching for it because Also Asked has found it. And quite big domains. If you look here, you can see the domain there, 75, 86. So these are high authority sites. Although we've got 2 smaller ones here. This is a wedding nutritionist. So obviously it's going to have a lot of topical relevancy. That's why this is doing well. And there's a good pin. So they're going for the Pinterest traffic. Nice infographic. But again, it's not a difficult one to rank for. But again, it's not a difficult one to beat, isn't this? So it's got a DA5 for the website. It's got a page authority of 6. And it's got 0 backlinks to it. And that is ranking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for that search term. So there is some possibility on that one. It is a bit of a weird one, though, that one. What are the steps to planning a wedding? You can see up on the right hand side here. What is the hardest part about planning a wedding? That's good. Is planning a wedding stressful? So that would be a good, let's just do that one. That would be a great list post. So, 11 ways to plan a wedding stress-free. That would be a great post. Let's just type planning a stress-free wedding, see what comes up. So this one here, planning a wedding stress, doesn't make sense, but we could create a title that would make sense, get better click-through rate, and still rank for this search term. And let's see what's ranking for that. So we've got one there. So DA22 ranking well for it. The rest are pretty high up. So let's just have a look at this one. Just load some metrics. How to avoid wedding stress. Let's have a look at that one. So it does get some search volume. You can see in the top left-hand corner. See, that's what I call a list post here. You see this one? So 7 ways introverts can avoid wedding stress. That's a good one. See here, you got a brand new site. So we've got a DA2. So we've got a website here. Tony Wynyard, the wedding maker. It's got a page authority of 18, and it's got 2 links to it. And that's the content. It's like 500 words. And that ranks really well for that search term. So there are some search terms, and I am really briefly touching the surface on the keywords on here. So wedding planning to me looks like it could be a good one. Let me just have a look at Amazon and see what things come up for weddings. So wedding gifts, jewelry, accessories, handmade stuff. So let's just have a look at wedding gifts. So obviously these are going to be your lower end stuff, so $20, $30 products on here. Do they do wedding rings? Let's have a look. Wedding rings. No, not really. So it would be the external jewelry affiliate program that would be best for that one. And let's have a look for wedding chair backs, because I know these covers are really expensive. So $21.99, 25 of them, $33, $35, $10 probably each, and that's just for the bow. So there's some pretty decent products there. Let's have a look for wedding glassware, because you spend a fortune on glasses. So you got these kind of champagne ones here, because everybody needs to, toast the wedding. So $39 for three, a set of three. Let's do bridesmaid dresses. So again, yeah, so you're looking kind of 50, 60. I mean, these, look at this one here. I mean, ranges between $34 and $60, and it's sold over 1,000 of them. I don't know if anybody buy the wedding dress on Amazon, I'm not sure about that, but certainly bridesmaid dresses and maybe even hats. Just going to see if they sell any wedding planning. Ah, okay, look at this. Right, okay, so you can buy a wedding planner for $31, and they're sold. I mean, look at this one. So that's really cool. So that's a wedding planner, and it's sold nearly 2,000 products, $31. And there's loads of them here. And look at the star ratings as well. 5-star ratings on all of these. $30 a piece. That's not bad. That's a decent little profit there. And I'm sure they would sell really, really well, especially on a website that's dedicated to wedding planning. And as you can see here, we've got lots of other informational content, and then you can even drill in further with this. So if we look at one, how much does alcohol cost for a wedding? Click that, and then it will then give us some more results. So now we've got how much is an open bar for 150 guests? That's a great one. How many kegs would you need for a 150 person wedding? Brilliant. Is it tacky to have cash bars at a wedding? Oh wow, okay, so there's a lot of content, a lot more here than I actually thought. Who pays for the bar at a wedding? What liquor should you serve at a wedding? What alcohol should be served at a wedding? There's an absolute ton of information content. So if we look at weddings niche in general, we've got pretty much all year round. It will have a peak obviously in the summer months, but people will still plan for a wedding throughout winter months. You've then got evergreen content, so we can create content that's definitely going to be around for a while. So we're not talking, best wedding dress for 2021 or anything like that. This will just be planning a wedding, which the planning of a wedding won't really change how we plan weddings in the next 5 years. So we've got evergreen content. We've got great affiliate programs for jewelry, 10, 20% affiliate programs for products that are $2,000 each. We've got online digital products that we can either sell or give away to actually build an email list. It's going to be great for organic traffic, and it's going to be great for Pinterest. You could even create a YouTube channel if you was that way inclined to this. I think it would certainly look really good coming from a female perspective about planning a wedding. So that would be a great YouTube channel to build if you've got that experience within that niche. So that would be a really good opportunity. Generally in traffic, and from what I've seen from the keywords, there is traffic there, and there is some keywords we can certainly go after. Using a tool like Also Ask can easily get us started. And I think some of these questions on here, how many kegs will you need for a 150 person wedding? There's one. We could do the same again. How many kegs would you need for a 250 person wedding? There's plenty of content to go after, and I think some of it, as we've seen, we just found some low competition keywords. I think with a bit of digging around, I could come up with some really good ones. So that's wedding planning. So the next one on my list was garden, wildlife and ponds. Now, this has come off the back of seeing some success with some similar posts to this. So certainly around wildlife and wildlife ponds tends to do really well. I wouldn't just go for like wildlife in general. I would go for specifically for garden wildlife. So wildlife you can spot from your garden. We're all in lockdown, or a lot of us are in lockdown. A lot of us are spending more time at home. So we're spending a lot more time in our own back garden. And certainly, creating a pond, and we could do lots of guides on how to build a pond. We could also do guides on, spotting wildlife from your garden. And there's also going to be some affiliate products. Let's head into this now and have a look. So again, I'm just going to start by searching some really simple terms. So garden, wildlife. Let's see what we start. So obviously you're going to get the big ones straight away, like Wildlife Trust and, you know, Gardening World and RSPB and big sites like that. But we're going to then narrow it down. So garden wildlife spotting. Let's try that. And this method I'm using here for finding keywords is something that anybody can do. I do this quite a lot just to show people the basics of it, rather than use any tools like Ahrefs that you may not have. It would be pointless me showing you how to use that tool if you didn't have it. So I tend to use methods in my demonstrations that are free and ones that you can use. And I think it teaches you to use your senses and your own judgment and, you know, believe in yourself a little bit more rather than using these tools. So if I want to start learning about wildlife in my garden and getting my kids involved in spotting wildlife and, you know, collecting insects and bugs and things, I'm just going to go with what I would search. So garden wildlife spotting. So here, look, what is wildlife spotting? So if we just open that up and click that, obviously Wikipedia's got the explanation for that. But let's have a look and see if we can find anything of interest. You know, that's another list post here. Again, so easy to do. Okay, so let's drill this down a bit. So what wildlife can I spot in my garden? Let's just have a look, see if we can start drilling this down a little bit. How to keep wildlife out of my garden? Not quite what we want. Creating a wildlife friendly garden. That's obviously these are really competitive. Look, 85, 80, but I'm just trying to spot little gaps within it. So how to attract wildlife to a pond. So I presume that's a garden pond. So it has a little bit of traffic. So we've got Gardener's World again at the top. But we've got a DA24 here. Okay, we've got DA8. So we've got a couple of little ones there. So I know this is right. Okay, so I know this is a shop that's selling pond liners, and then they're obviously topic relevant, so they're able to rank for this. It has 0 backlinks and it has a page authority of 18. So that might be a little bit tricky to rank for, but I'm sure from that we can drill down a little bit. So how to attract new animals into your garden. Let's just have a look at that. Okay, so yeah, that's not come up with a lot, but I'm just looking at the suggested searches here. How to attract hedgehogs into your garden. How to make your garden fox friendly. Okay, let's just have a look at that. So okay, we've got some smaller blogs here starting to rank for this. A couple of big ones. Fox repellent. So yeah, nothing really good on that one. Let's just have a look at wildlife garden plants. Again, you can see how I'm going. I'm just thinking, you know, how I would search if I was somebody wanting to start, you know, getting interested into wildlife within my garden or getting my kids interested in it. Let's have a look. So wildlife friendly plants, DA21. So again, they're quite competitive, these ones. So let's have a look at ponds. So garden wildlife ponds. Okay, so how to build a garden pond. So we've got lots of high authority sites coming up again. We've got a lot of YouTube widgets embedded. And again, pretty high domains on all of these. So there's one here, pond shelf depth. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so we've got some forums ranking for this one as well. So we've got DA18, we've got a couple of forums at the top. But still pretty competitive for that niche by the looks of it. So this is wildlifegardenprojects.com. Very similar niche to what we're thinking about. And here's the website. You can see, okay, so this is the post for this, which is a very simple post. It's a little bit of a strange post, that, but I think that would be very easy to beat. It's page authority of 17 with 1 backlink for it, so I'm not too worried about that. Let's just have a look at this website in general. So it's quite a generic website, so I'm just actually going to copy this and let's just put this into... So Ubersuggest is a free tool that you can use, and it gives you a very vague idea. It is free and it is very vague, but it does give you some idea of the size of this website. So I can tell now from this, so it's getting 2,719 organic traffic a month. It only shows you organic, doesn't show you paid traffic. Now it's usually double or triple that. So this website's probably getting about 10,000 page views a month. It's got a DA of 28. It's got 8,000 organic keywords ranking, and it's got 167 backlinks. So I'm just going to have a look at their top pages. So if I have a look at their top pages here, so they've got Common Bluebell, a wildlife garden project. Got no backlinks. Dragonflies, another garden project. 0 backlinks. Great Silver Beetle. So they're all kind of projects, so, you know, all about dragonflies, all about bluebells, all about garden beetles. And each post is getting a little bit of traffic. Not very much, granted, but they haven't got many backlinks either. So let's just have a look at this. See, these are the projects that I thought would be really good for this website. Building these little insect gardens and beehives and things like that. Look, these would make great Pinterest shares, and they're the kind of things you could build yourself, or I could build in the garden, take images of, and we could get some great unique content from. So this is a nice post. That's a lovely little post, that. But again, I think it is beatable. So let's just have a look over at Amazon. So there is obviously some content on there, maybe a little bit more competitive than I thought that. But I just want to have a look at some of the garden equipment. So I know raised flower beds are pretty expensive. Yeah, you see, like things like these. So things like these, look, $98, $79, $59, $145. So they're pretty good. And then you can also get the ponds. So let's have a look at garden ponds. So you got things like these ready-made container ponds, $150, $200 each. You've got all the pond liners, the fountains. So there definitely is products there. Then obviously you got things like, you know, garden furniture. All this would be suitable for a website that was about garden wildlife. So you'd want to sit there watching the wildlife. There's also binoculars. And things like that as well. So I definitely think there's some products as well. So let's just kind of wrap up on that one. So we've got the garden niche. It's pretty much evergreen content, as long as you're not doing best reviews all the time. Evergreen content like, you know, how to spot insects in your garden, best ways to build an insect house in your garden, how to encourage wildlife into your garden. That's evergreen content. It does look a little bit more competitive than I thought, but I think it does have some good possibilities for a YouTube channel. It does have some possibilities for Pinterest. I think with a bit of keyword research and digging around, I could find some low competition keywords. It might be not as easy as I thought it would be, but I certainly think they are there. I think there's a lot of topics you could go into. Then there's the pond side of it. So what insects live in a pond? What fish can go in a wildlife pond? Do you need a filter in a wildlife pond? Should your wildlife pond be sunken in the ground or raised above ground? So there's a ton of content like that. I think with the products, we've got things like bird feeders, raised ponds, raised garden beds, binoculars. There's a lot of products we could go after. PDFs and ebooks or online products we could create, again, to either give away for free or to sell even, and that would get visitors and traffic from other sources, and also possibly even another revenue. So I think sheets like that, you know, beginner's guide to wildlife in your garden, etc. That could be a nice little PDF or a ebook we put together. I think there are some possibilities around wildlife in your garden and wildlife ponds in your garden, but it may be we just need to dig around a little bit more for some low competition keywords. That is wildlife gardens and ponds. So the next one I wanted to do is my wildcard, so hacks. Now, what do I mean about hacks? Well, hacks is one that I've been wanting to do for a couple of reasons. And number one is I think it's a great opportunity to have a YouTube channel connected to a website. And I think a YouTube channel will bring as much traffic over to this website as the actual organic traffic itself. So what do I mean by hacks? Well, let's head over to Google, let's have a look. So I'm subscribed to quite a few YouTube channels around kind of hacks, and I actually find them really interesting because it's something that I can do kind of with my son. We like to kind of experiment doing scientific experiments and tests and little hacks, and there are a lot of those that actually go viral and do really well. And let's type a few in here. So how to cap a rebottle. So you've opened a bottle of beer, you started drinking it, then either you're not going to finish it or you need to go out or whatever. And as you can see here, it actually does get 20 searches a month. I think it would be a lot more than that. You've got the YouTube video, which is obviously number one, and I think a lot of these hacks would do that. But then you've got Reddit, a forum, in second place, and then you've got the YouTube widgets, and then you've got some blog posts here, more forums. So forums again, look. But I think these would make a really good post. So, you know, how to recap a beer bottle once opened. So we could create 1,000 words telling them step by step how to do that. And then we could embed the video on it, create the YouTube channel, link the two together. And then we could also, it might work on Pinterest, certain hacks would. I'm not sure beer would work on Pinterest, but other hacks, you know, like, you know, how to fix a torn wedding dress or something like that might work. So let's just have a look at some more. I found a couple more. So how to keep food cold when a fridge is broken, without a fridge, while traveling, when camping, while backpacking, when shipping it. How to keep food cold at a party. So let's just click that and let's see. So straight away, look, so there's no YouTube video ranking for this one. So you've got here, this is an actual post, and let's just have a look for some others. So you got YouTube further down, which, like I say, I get that. So then you got one here. Let's just click this. I don't think this is going to be really relevant to hacks. So serving supplies of hot and cold food to a buffet. It's not really a hack, is it? But if we look further up here, so let's just have a look at this number one. Okay, so this is entitled How to Keep Food Cold at the Potluck. Okay, but the actual title, the clickable title was Genius Hacks. So there you go, look, so that's what was actually being ranked as their title description. But again, it's not really a hack, is it? So let's just have a look for a couple more, like how to add more life to an old battery. Let's just try something like that. See if that's a hack. A trick to rejuvenate a car battery. Bringing a dead battery back to life again. So again, you could actually create the blog post around how to rejuvenate a car battery, but then also a YouTube video as well, how to do it. So we could do a 1,000-word blog post and then do a YouTube video as well. Or you just write the 1,000-word blog content and embed somebody else's YouTube video. You could do that as well if we don't want to make any YouTube videos. And as I take a look down, there's a lot of list posts again. 24DA there, doing well. Let's just have a look at hacks. Oh, actually, let's just put everyday hacks. So yeah, so like 30 everyday hacks, 21 useful hacks, 100 incredible hacks. So we could create a ton of list posts. So these list posts here, like this, look, 49 crazy everyday hacks. So they are so easy to write, they rank well, and there is a chance that these kind of posts can go viral. If you get one of these posts showing up on Discovery or it gets shared on Pinterest, they can go absolutely berserk with traffic. So let's just have a look at this one. So 49 crazy everyday life hacks. And again, look how easy it would be to create that image. Again, these are just information graphics. Dead easy to do. Some of these are just memes. I mean, look at this. This is just a list of pretty much memes. and it's ranking on this, and it's ranking for a search volume of 1,200 in position 4 or 5. So I think there's endless. Look, I think there's endless posts we could do here. 5-minute craft everyday hacks. 27 everyday hacks all women should know. So you've life hacks, you've fitness hacks, you've money making hacks. You could do 21 hacks to make money quickly. There's just all sorts of content. What are some good life hacks? Click that. So the 55 most useful life hacks ever. And again, I guarantee this is just going to be made up of images. Image. Exactly. So imagine doing that, but also adding a little bit of original wording to each one of those images. It'd be so easy to take 20 or 30 photos like this. I mean, look at that. That's just some clothes hanging in a wardrobe with a bin line around them. How easy is that to photograph? Hands-free gas pumping. It's simple, isn't it? So, bit of a wild card there. I don't know what products you could sell with that. That might be one of the downsides of it. It's content that you could produce quite easily. You could walk around your home, find these hacks on YouTube, create and simulate them in your own home. We could create list posts, which are very easy to do and inexpensive. So we could create a ton of list posts like, 21 hacks all women should know, them kind of posts. Great for Pinterest, amazing for YouTube if you dare do YouTube, if you dare film some YouTube videos. If not, we could easily embed somebody else's on there. So it would be our content organically ranking original content, but we'll use somebody else's video that has similar hacks on there, which is legal. There's no problem with that. You're not copying anything. And there's also the chance, like I say, that one of these posts could go viral. It only takes one post to get shared in this type of topic and type of niche, and the ad revenue you'd earn from it could be amazing. So, bit of a wild card there. That's hacks, everyday hacks. Let me know what you think. We're going to take this to a poll, like I say, when we've looked at all 5. But it's one that I've wanted to do for a while. I think it could be something different. And like I say, if you are brave enough to do YouTube, I think you could smash it in this niche. So the next one I had on my list was gardening for kids. Now, I think this is a really good topic to get into right at this moment. I think for the next few years, it's a topic or a niche that's really going to be growing. People are trying to get their children into more hobbies and activities, and especially trying to get them involved outdoors, something natural, something organic, but still within the realms of their home or their neighbourhood. So let's have a look at gardening for kids. So I'm just going to type gardening for kids straight away, see what we come up with. So there is actually a website, let's have a look at this, called gardeningforkids.co.uk. And let's have a look. So welcome to Gardening for Kids, activities, products. So let's have a look at some of their blogs. What to do in a garden in autumn with your kids. So again, building hedgehog houses, collecting seeds, collecting leaves. Yeah, I never thought of that. You see, you could do like leaf pressing in books. That would be a good one. Let's have a look. They've got a lot of products on here. I'm actually surprised. I knew there would be a lot of products for gardening for kids, but actually this website's really focusing on it well. Seeds, propagating tools, growing herbs, growing vegetables. Let's have a look at the wildlife. So, bug hotels. Okay, so yeah, so you've not got just bird feeders and things like that I was thinking about. You've got insect hotels. Look at these. And with kids, they love these gift sets, like this one. An actual gift set. Let's just head over to Amazon before we look at content. Kids bug hotel. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, so you got these kits, look, exploring, bug catchers. I mean, look at this one here. This is sold 3,500 units at $30 a time. That's pretty good. Yeah, and then you got lots of toys, lots of bug kits again. Let's have a look at gardening tools. So kids garden. I mean, you got garden tools. So you got all these sets. Look, $36 wheelbarrows, kids wheelbarrows. So they seem to average $30, $40. Let's just have a look at kids garden wellies. Yeah, again, so like these look $69 a pair, $57 a pair, $51 a pair, $52, $57. And look at these, they're selling. Look at that one, $30 a pair, sold nearly 4,500. So there's definitely some products there. Let's have a look at some keywords. So let's go to, I'm gonna use also asked again, gardening for kids. I'm gonna change it to US. I'm just going to see if this gives us any ideas straight off the bat. Let's have a look. So how do I teach my child to garden? How do you plant with kids? How does gardening help children's development? That's a good one. How do I introduce a preschooler to my garden? How do I keep my children safe while in the garden? How do I teach my child to garden? What is the importance of gardening? There's a ton. What flowers do preschoolers need to grow? So there is a lot of stuff here. And also with this tool, you may not know, if you click the saved up here as a CSV, you can actually get it into a spreadsheet. You can see here, look, so you can actually add and delete. So you can delete that, you can take that away. So if you're thinking, is gardening a life skill? It's nothing to do with children, I'll get rid of that. But then what is the importance of gardening? You might keep that. So what you can do is you can actually take this here. So let's just search for this. So how does gardening help kids develop? So this might be classed as a YMYL kind of topic, your money or your life, your health and fitness and stuff like that. So it might be a little bit more difficult to rank for. But we've got here DA 18 ranking, DA 32, DA 11. So let's just open this one and have a look at this one. Little active people. How does gardening help children's mental and physical health? Pretty uninspiring blog post, to be honest, but site looks okay. Yeah, site's lovely. Nice site. DA10, 5 links to the site, so it's not a difficult one to beat. Let's just have a look at their blogs. So this is very much about just children in general. So let's just go back. Why is gardening good for preschoolers? Let's just click that. So it says it gets no traffic, but I'm pretty sure that does. So we've got DA 18 or DA 23, depending which tool you're going to go by. Early learning. Benefits of gardening for kids. So DA 3, pretty low authority website, ranking on page 1. So that's a good sign. I'm going to just type for, let's have a look. Gardening for kids. Gardening for kids cheat sheets. So again, these are sheets that you can create on Canva very, very simply. And it'd be things like how to spot insects in your garden, and then you would tick them off this sheet. So you'd have a sheet with an image of a bug or a ladybird or a butterfly. Then as you're walking around the garden and your child's looking for these, when they find them, they can tick them off. Again, it costs us next to nothing to produce. We could share them on Pinterest, give them away as a PDF or a download on your website. That would create quite a bit of interest. Let's just have a look at some reviews. So, best kids gardening gloves. Let's just have a look at some product reviews. So we've got Gardener's World, very difficult to beat. But then we've got a DA8 in second place with 2 links to it. Gardening gloves for children. We've got DA15. We've got a DA3. We've got DA7. Okay, so we've got some sites here that are topic relevant, but look like they could be pretty easy to beat. Let's have a look. So gardening gloves for children. It's DA8. It's got a strong page authority, which is what you really should be looking at, the page authority. It's got 2 backlinks to it. But let's have a look at the content. It's pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, it's not very long. It's not very detailed. So they've got why gardening gloves are important, but nothing else really. So I think that content is beatable. Let's just go back and have a look at some others. Let's just have a look at this one. Mini Green Fingers, just basically an e-com site. Yeah, again, pretty simple website. DA13, 31 backlinks to this site. So again, not hugely authoritative. Let's just have a look for best kids gardening tools. Let's see what's ranking for this. So we've got Mum Junction at number 1. I know that's a big site. I know that's a popular site. So that's going to be hard to beat. Then we've got Amazon. But then we've got, okay, so we've got DA17. We've got DA4. So let's have a look at this. So this is very topic relevant. So this is Kids Do Gardening. So great gardening tools for children under 5. Is this the same site? This looks very similar to that last site we just pulled up. Let's have a look, is it? Oh wow, no, it's not. But this looks very similar. The way they do their posts, their review posts, to the last one we just looked at. But here we go, loads and loads. Look, growing kits for kids, growing sweet corn, how to grow runner beans, gardening gifts for kids. Top tips for sowing seeds with children. Children's vegetable. There's so much content that we could do on this. I think as well, this is a website that I call a nice website. These are websites that people love to browse. They look inviting, they look friendly, they look welcoming. I think gardening for kids is a fantastic niche. I like it. I think it's a really good one. I think it would be kind of what I call a sellable site. So a site that we could grow, get it earning some money. Then obviously I'm going to give it away. Somebody else could grow it a little bit further. And I think it would be easy to sell if you wanted to sell it. I think this is a website that could have quite a decent value to it if you wanted to sell it. So gardening for kids, is that one we should do? I'm not sure. I think it's a pretty good niche. I certainly do. And I think it would be easy to produce content for it. So the next one I've got down as gap year travel, or it could actually be single person travel. So travel at the minute is obviously a bad niche to be in because it got hit with the COVID pandemic. But I believe it's going to absolutely boom in the next couple of years. I don't know about you guys or anybody who's being locked down or in isolation, but I'm desperate to get out and have a holiday. And we've already started searching and looking for holidays for next year or the year after. So I think travel is going to see an absolute surge. I think it'll be one of the most popular and most searched topics in the next few years. Certainly not for the next 6 months or 12 months, but after that it will boom. And if we're going to build a website over 12 months, this gives us a perfect time to build a travel site for right when the peak of the traffic hits. Now, I wouldn't do a general travel website. I would look at something more specific. And I've put gap year travel here. If you're not familiar what that is, that's for students that are studying or leave college or university, and then they take a year off before finding a full-time job and entering the rat race, and they go traveling. And there's lots of information they need, and some travel tips and some safety issues and content we could create all around that. Also, if you're traveling individually, so single people traveling abroad, I know of bloggers, so there's a lot of people that do online, so they call them online nomads, that travel around the world blogging on their own and then actually visit places. But again, the things like, Wi-Fi connections around the world and blogging around the world on your own, safety issues in different countries. There's a lot of content we could produce. So let's have a look at Google now and let's have a look at this niche. So I did actually have a quick look at this morning, and I think I've got one saved here. We have a look at this one. So this is the Flash Packer. So this is, again, traveling. This is a website based around people traveling solo or traveling on their own, or maybe it's just a man and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend traveling rather than a whole family. So getting away from kind of package holiday kind of things. So these are all information posts around traveling solo. So if you have a look at this, look, solo travel. So traveling alone for the first time, 7 easy steps, what you should do, how you should prepare for traveling alone, safety issues, things like that. Destinations, obviously, you've got a lot of destinations for things like, 11 best destinations for gap year travelers. 21 destinations if you're traveling alone you have to visit. Content like that. So let's just have a look at gap year. So gap year. Now I'd have to check whether gap year is just related to the UK. I'm not sure if it's a US used term. But have here gapyear.com, RealGap, gapforce.org. Now one thing I noticed about these, to say these are showing up as the authority sites on gap year travel, they're only DA46, which I get it, DA46, that's big. It's amazing to have a DA46 on your site. But a DA46 with only a couple of backlinks doesn't sound to me like that's unbeatable. So if you have a look at some of these websites first, so gap year, so things to do on your gap year, destinations to go, essential items you'll need for gap year. Let's just have a look at the articles, what they've actually got. So they've got things like how to volunteer on a private island, how to be a responsible social media traveller, how to spend 72 hours in Australia, how to spend 72 hours in Brisbane. That's a good idea. There you go. The best destination for swimmers. There you go, that's another one. So let's just go back and just have a look at some of these ideas. So should I take a gap year to travel? Where can I go to travel in my gap year? How do I plan a gap year traveling? So that's a really good niche there. So planning your gap year. So when you leave college or university and you want to go off traveling, you don't just pack a bag and go. You spend years planning what you're going to do. You plan a budget. You'll need so many thousands of dollars saved up to be able to travel for a year or two without worrying. You plan your destination, you plan your passports, you plan your budgeting, you plan your meals, your food, you plan your events and activities you want to do. So again, kind of PDFs and planning sheets and stuff would be a great thing to use. So how do I plan a gap year? So let's just open this one. So 7 steps for the ultimate gap year. Plan my gap year. Gap year planning ideas. So let's just have a look at one of these. Plan a gap year. So yeah, so how long are you going to go for, long or short term? How much will it cost? Volunteering, will I be safe? Again, very small piece of content there, but that's the kind of idea. I think they will be really good. How to plan a gap year traveling. Let's just have a look at the metrics on some of these. So gap year traveling. So gap year programs, 4,000 searches a month. Let's have a look. And again, like say, DA40, DA45 sites ranking for these. But again, these will be pieces of content that get shared a lot. Let's have a look at this one. Plan my gap year. So this is a slightly smaller domain. Still 26, so it's pretty good domain. It's got a bit of authority. It's got a lot of backlinks. So you're not going to outrank this very easily. But it would give us some ideas. And I'm really sure we could narrow down the niche on this and get very specific and get very low competition keywords. So I'm only looking at some of these bigger sites just to give us an idea of the type of content we could do. So there you go. So that would be commissions right there. Travel insurance. Look at that. There'll be courses about planning gap years. There's travel insurance. There's fundraising ideas. So there's a few ideas for affiliate commissions, medical insurance, wildlife conservation. I mean, destinations is the obvious one, but I think maybe with this you'd have to think maybe it would be all around the budgeting or the planning for it rather than the destinations. I'm not sure. Let's just have a look at single traveling. I'm just going to put single traveller, see what comes up. Solo holidays. So let's just put can I travel alone too? See what comes up with. So it's obviously doing destination. Can I travel alone at 17? Can I travel alone at 15? Not really gap year topics then. Gap year. So gap year traveling, gap year programs, gap year holidays, gap year planning. I think gap year ideas. So gap year planning, gap year ideas, I think would be the same kind of search term. It's topic relevant. 720 searches a month. 26 amazing gap year ideas. Gap year ideas again. Big sites ranking for this at the minute. Volunteering. See, I know, yeah, travelling alone, if people travel alone, that's usually a reason what they want to do that. So they want to either be involved in charity work, or they want to have experiences. Teaching's obviously a one. A lot of people travel in their gap year or travel singly to non-native speaking countries where they can help teach children things, English and things like that. So there's a lot of content we could do around that. Let's just type, so how do I travel alone? So how do I travel alone as a woman for the first time, as a teenager in Europe? So how do I travel alone for the first time? So adventure tourism website, solo travel world, world backpackers, girls that travel. Okay. Didn't think of that one. So solo travel destination for women. That's quite a good one. So ultimate places to travel, 11 best first time solo destinations. So this website's focusing around a solo traveling but a woman. So just women traveling alone around the world. Again, all that content you could do on safety, finance planning, best destinations. Pretty good. I don't think there's as many affiliate products with this niche, if I'm being honest. I think it would be all round seasonal. I think it would be evergreen content, because I think we could create content that is certainly going to be around for years and years. It doesn't have to be, 11 best destinations 2021. It could just be 11 best destinations to travel alone rather than 2021 gap year, something like that. So we could create some really good evergreen content. Like I say, I don't think there's going to be as many products, but certainly you could sell hotel reservations, flight tickets, medical insurance, gap planning sheets, PDFs. So I think there is a lot of content you could do around there. I think you could also, it would work really well with Pinterest, and I think you could also do a YouTube channel on this. So gap year traveling or single person traveling, certainly something within that travel niche, which is narrowed down. It's not a broad travel niche. I think would be something that I would be interested in. I would certainly go down that route rather than general travel blog. So yeah, traveling, what do you think about that? Okay, so that brings us to the end. I've looked at 5 niches there. To be honest, all 5 I would probably look at. The garden wildlife one might be a little bit more difficult than I expected to rank. I think there's a lot of big competition out there because it's such evergreen content. Once you get a piece of content ranking, it's there for years. So I can understand why that is competitive. And I think some of the other ones have individual, unique properties. I think some are going to earn more on ad revenue. Some are going to get more products. There's pros and cons for each one. But I certainly think there's at least 2 or 3 out there I would start building tomorrow. So the next step of the progress is I'm going to now create a post, which is a poll over on my community tab on my YouTube channel, where you guys can select which one you think we should go for. I've had a brief look into it. Maybe once we decide which one we're going to go into, maybe that's when I will drill down even further and we'll do some proper keyword research, and we will create a keyword hit list, something like you would get if you purchase one from keywordcare.com, my own keyword research company. Maybe we'll produce one of those live once we narrow down which niche we're going to go for. But for now, I think it gives us a little bit of a taster of what we can go after and the type of website we can build. So head over to my YouTube community tab now, click on the one that you think we should go for, and the one that has the overall winning majority is the niche we're going to build. So thanks a lot. I know it's been a long video. I knew this first one would be, but we need to make sure we get the right niche, because after all, it's going to be a website that one of you guys gets for free, and I want to make sure it's a really good one for you. So thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next video.